Good evening, everyone. This video is going to be a trading review and support session for March the 8th, 2023. So this is a better trading today than yesterday. Yesterday was very slow and not very fun to trade, but I mean, even though it was a positive day. Let's just kind of take a look at what was going on today. Today was the second day of Chairman Powell's testimony, is testifying in terms of the Finance Committee in the House today. I mean, this is actually today, right? So not a large range day at all. It did finish up a few points. This was the response yesterday to Powell's testimony when he was saying, basically they are willing to and will increase rates faster and further to be in order to get a handle on inflation. And inflation isn't really under control just yet. I think the service sector is one of the bigger concerns. The labor market is still pretty hot, and we're going to get some more data on that relatively soon before the next Fed meeting, which is a little bit later on in March. Still got a couple of weeks to go. So let's take a look at the big picture, and we'll see that there really wasn't that much movement today. So let's see. The open was about here, right? And then this was right after the Chairman Powell started testifying on the House Committee. So you can see not a lot of range. It did end up, kind of in a downward movement a little bit after 9 o'clock. And then it came back up and actually, closed in a positive fashion, just a few points, nothing extraordinary. But we did kind of move back and forth across the EMA, interestingly enough. So as you can see, it was never really trending extremely in one direction or another. So here's the open, right? So it appeared to be, popping over the 2 by 200 here. So it kind of looked like it was wanting to go. Everything is lined up to the positive side. So I took a trade here and was out here. So that's the first long trade. Then took another trade here, right? When it's popping over, trying to pop over back over the Ultraflex. Pulled back a little bit, did not need or want to add to it, and was out there. So a quick 2 points. And then it decided just to come back down. So magenta candles kind of sold into this low, but it had a selling expansion here, a selling expansion here, coming back down. AVR has been negative. Well, I can't draw a straight line, but AVR has basically been negative since then. So I did that and got out here without, let's see, did I had to add to that? I don't remember. I don't think I did. No, I don't think I added it. Maybe it's the next one. I added 2. And so still coming down. So I took a trade here, right? And again, out there for 1 point. And then this one, right? And this one was starting to buy a little bit. So I took a 2-tick profit on that one. Let me just go back because on my trading chart, because I know one of these I added 2 to get out, and I don't know which one it is since I don't have the. Okay, no, it wasn't here yet. It was the trade that took about 718 or so. All right, so it just took a couple of ticks there. Would have made the whole thing. And oh no, here is another one that it took 2 units on. So this was, everything is in kind of alignment here. Had an expansion. It could have gone immediately. It just didn't quite go immediately. So it's kind of heading down into this double bottoming range. So I had to think about it just a little bit. I had plenty of room to get out before mid S1 here, but it didn't quite do it. I held short because it looked like I had a whole bunch of resistance up in here. So it held, right? Had a pretty big down bar, so I added to it and got out with ease, right? Could have gotten more out of it, so I didn't try to stretch profits or anything there. So another positive trade, even though it has 2 units. And then I was kind of happy, so I decided to wait until after the Powell testimony started. We did have some other news as well coming in at 7 o'clock. We had Bank of Canada's rate decision, and we also had what else did we have? Oh, the JOLTS job openings, which came in a little bit positive, which means that the economy is still a little bit hot. So I was kind of looking at news, and so I was a little bit late to this trade, but you can see how negatively it's reacting. So short here and out there. Didn't want to test it anymore. So I mean, I'm just kind of adding to profits at this particular point. And then I think I took one more trade, not wanting to overtrade today. And that was, and again, I'm a little bit late to this trade too. So, anywhere in here would have been better, right? So I'm a little bit late, not necessarily, wanting to overtrade, but I'm a little bit late. So therefore, I had to add to it again, right? It came back up to the EMA, coming back down, added to it, and I think I even just took 3 ticks on that trade to add to some profits, and that was actually the last trade of the morning. So I didn't, like I said in the session, didn't want to overtrade. So my even though I can't spell morning, I don't know what that's like, moan ring, up 8 3/4 points. Later on in the day, I did take a couple of more trades. Ended up 10.5 gross for the day, and so it was a fine day. I mean, having that day every day would be pretty spectacular. So been trying to be a little bit more conservative on profit targets and stopping. So today I did a little bit more. But there was other trades that was available. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Let's see. I mean, this is at the edge here of the 2x200 in the EMA, but had a very strong response here, right? So you could have probably taken a trade in here. Um, I'm just going to try to look at the better ones. I mean, this is not bad. It's got a Renko and then some high volume, but no expansions, right? I wouldn't want to chase it too much further. And this is a pretty good trade. I mean, it is kind of going into these support areas, but again, it's been, this is pretty good. It's been moving down ever so slowly. So that would have been an okay trade to take to the short side. And then this one, maybe not too bad, right? I mean, the AVR is a little bit neutral here, but, you could watch it and maybe take it. Wasn't quite in alignment, but, when it pops back up to the EMA sometimes and then has a rejection from the EMA, it's not necessarily going to be perfect alignment with the flexes, because this is later on in the move. And then I think there was some more, at least one more. So this is a pretty good one, 805-ish, right? Popping back above the EMA. So it had some volume from the bottom, right? Trend has already changed directions from slow flex. This is a little bit after 8 o'clock. Got an expansion here, so you could have taken a trade, whenever you got confidence that it was going to continue moving there. I was already checked out and looking at my profit. This is kind of back and forth, a little bit after 8 o'clock. So sometimes about 8:30. And this one, no expansions here, right? So the price action is okay, right? But no expansions here to really give you a lot of confidence that it's going to go all the way back down, but it did. And that's what happens sometimes. Now this is too late, probably, right? It's already moved an expansion into the EMA band, and I kind of classify as a volume climax. Right? We used that term the other day. You want to kind of avoid those unless the market's just coming straight down, right? Because in that case, the market is just coming straight down. not to be confused with a volume climax like this one. So you see that one kind of comes all the way back up. This is after 8:30, but you could have probably even gotten a trade in there. But trades were after 9 o'clock, so it wasn't anywhere in that particular time frame. Okay, so I mean the volume was better today than it was yesterday, and the volatility after Powell was testifying helped make it to be a profitable day. So you know, with all the economic things going around, we will probably see some volatility tomorrow as well. Let's see, tomorrow we have the initial jobless claims, and then a Fed, not Powell, but a Fed is speaking tomorrow at 7 as well. So got a jobs report tomorrow, and so and jobless claims, and so we'll see how that information comes in and see how it affects the market. So anyway, that's kind of it. No questions have been entered, so let me go ahead and stop the video, get it posted, and we'll see you in the trading room tomorrow morning.